Did your child get an unexpected diagnosis recently? How do you feel? How are you coping with it? Do you feel like you're losing your mind? In today's video, I'll be sharing 6 tips on how to cope with your child's unexpected diagnosis. Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Myrna 𝐦𝐨𝐬, and this channel is to support and encourage parents that have children with chronic illness and/or special needs. Today, I want to share 6 tips on how to cope with your child's unexpected diagnosis. Quick side note, these tips are not the answer for everything. They are not going to magically make you happy, but they can help you manage your stress levels and emotions. Tip number 1, let yourself feel. You are going to have feelings, big feelings. When your sweet and innocent child gets diagnosed, you are going to be angry. You are going to feel sad. You are going to feel guilty and so much more. You will have a whirlwind of emotions. All of these feelings are valid, and you should allow yourself to feel them. Suppressing your emotions is not going to help you or your family. If you stuff your emotions down, you're going to feel more stressed, overwhelmed, and you might feel like you can't breathe. When my youngest son, Elliot, got diagnosed with cancer, I stuffed down my emotions. I cried when I was alone. I didn't allow myself to feel all the emotions. So that caused me to be more stressed and more overwhelmed and more exhausted. You have to allow yourself to grieve. You can go to the woods and scream, punch your pillows, write how unfair this is in your journal. I mean, write everything that makes you angry and sad. Get those feelings out of you. Tip number 2, stay away from Dr. Google. I promise you, there is nothing good that comes from researching your child's diagnosis nonstop. Your doctors should provide you with the accurate information that you need to know. We got a binder that was filled with information about Wilms tumor and how families deal with cancer. If they don't provide you with the binder, then ask them for the information that you need to know. Don't go down the rabbit hole of what if. This will only bring anxiety and fear into your life. You already have so much to handle. You don't want to have to add more to your plate. Instead of spending time looking for answers on the internet, cry out to your God. He is there and He is listening. You might be really upset in the beginning, and that's okay. But I promise you, God is there, and you can give Him all your worries. The difference is, God will give you the peace and understanding that you're looking for, while Dr. Google will just give you more to worry about. Tip number 3, find your community. When we first found out that Elliot had cancer, I felt so alone. I didn't know any other moms that was going through what I was going through. In our super big binder that was filled with all the information, there was a section for finding cancer communities and support groups. I found 𝐦𝐨𝐿. They support parents that have children with cancer. They believe that the primary caregiver's emotional health has a big impact on the well-being of the child. Many parents internalize the stress of life and family after diagnosis, leaving the entire household feeling exhausted, isolated, and broken. 𝐦𝐨𝐿 provides positive and restorative environments of peer social support for parents. I started to feel less alone once I found this group. There were other parents out there that knew exactly how I felt. Then I found a Facebook group. Just went on Facebook and I typed in parents with children with Wilms tumor. And there was a group specifically for this type of cancer. And I was able to find another mom that had a son a few weeks older than Elliot that was going through the same thing. The more I reached out, the less isolated and lonely I felt. It's so important to connect with others through difficult times. We were not meant to do all of this on our own. Tip number 4, lean on your family and friends. There will be many people that want to bless you with meals, babysitting, or mowing your lawn. It can be hard to say yes because you want to feel strong and in control, like you can do it all. I'm telling you to say yes and thank you. It's okay to receive help. You need all the help you can get. You will have doctor's appointments, long hospital stays, waiting for results. Your head is not in the same headspace that it used to be in. You might be forgetful and clumsy. That's totally normal. Let people bless you and your family. You might have other children that are not sick, and they need love and attention and fun too. And you might not be able to provide that at the moment. And that's okay. Let their grandparents help you with that. You might not feel like cooking and cleaning, and that's okay. Let your friend wash your dishes and help you with laundry. It's okay to say, yes, I need help. God is sending wonderful people your way to bless you. And one day, you're gonna be that blessing for someone else. Tip number 5, believe in something greater than you. I started to go to therapy when Elliot got diagnosed with cancer. It took many appointments to find a therapist that I love. There were 2 questions that these different therapists would always ask me. Are you a spiritual person? Do you believe in something greater than you? It was amazing to me how they all seemed to ask the same questions. When I answered yes, they told me that prayer and meditation would help me through this battle. There are certain things in life, such as your child getting sick, that really throws you. You have no control over what happens, and you love your child so much. You would do anything for your child not to suffer. That kind of pain and sadness can only get better with God's peace and hope. There's nothing better than that. I used to listen to worship music and praise God when things were really hard to bear. And honestly, that's the only thing that kept me going. Knowing His love for me and believing in His promise of hope and a future. Tip number 6, learn about your personality. When trauma happens in our lives, we react without even thinking about it. The way we used to cope as children is most likely the way we're coping today as adults. And sometimes that's not the healthiest. My husband and I, we cope differently. I tend to get anxious and worried and worked up, and he tends to withdraw and avoid. We both knew that we loved each other and we loved our kids, but we didn't understand why we reacted differently. My husband didn't understand why I was so emotional and anxious, and I didn't understand why he wasn't more emotional. We started learning about our personalities and what motivates us to act a certain way. The more we learned, the more compassionate we were with each other, and the closer our relationship became. This circumstance may be happening to you and your spouse, but being able to understand one another is crucial. It's also very important to know yourself for yourself, because when you know more about yourself, you can give yourself more grace. You are dealing with something very difficult. The more you learn about yourself, the more you grow as a person. And that benefits your whole family. As you learn about your personality, you'll be able to see when you're veering to unhealthy habits and be able to acknowledge that and make positive changes. The different personality tests that I love learning about are the Enneagram, Myers-Briggs, the attachment styles, and love languages. I hope you learned a lot from this video. And if you're dealing with your child's unexpected diagnosis, I see you and I'm here for you. You are stronger than you think. Even through this circumstance, you deserve to be happy. Until next time, bye.